Greetings, everyone. My name is April Jones. I am the founder and content creator for the Birth to Life Early Care Institute. Next week, we will be celebrating Pre K Week. Yes, we will be celebrating Pre K Week. And for those that live in different states across the United States, maybe this is an initiative you should start in your local state to let people know that high quality education is vitally important. We know that optimal brain building happens during childcare when children are infants through pre-K and preschool as well. But we want to make sure that we are supporting communities and also have communities for little learners to learn about all different types of things. And pre-K is one of those foundations before they even get started with elementary school. A lot of times my company talks about starting in the infancy age, but even before then, mothers, talking to their babies and teaching them in the womb. That's why I call it birth to life. But let's get into it, okay? So I was a pre K teacher for 9 years. Yes, 9 years. I've been in the field for close to 17 years. And then if I count my total experience, it's been like 20 years. So I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And so, when I got into pre K, when I became a pre-K teacher, I tell people all the time that's truly when my life changed, honestly, when it comes to education. That was my first time really learning about play-based curriculums, learning about not using worksheets, and also getting way of all the testing and the skill and drill and the skill and kill even. Something that's not even appropriate for our learners as well. So when I grasped that concept and when I started learning about that, truly I knew that I felt as though that this is groundbreaking. This is how people should be learning overall. And the example that I give a lot of times is that if you was to close your eyes, right, and wake up and just see nothing but black and white, see nothing but, bland or just black and white, you would probably just be in shock, right? So why do we present information and educational materials to children that is always black and white, that is always so dull and boring? And I felt as though pre-K gave me the opportunity for children to learn in a play-based way, a project-based way, and guess what? They grasped those concepts because it was engaging, it was fun, it was appropriate for them, and a lot of those skills will last all the way through adulthood. Okay, those are the things that they will remember, and those are the skills that will truly, truly last, and that will be foundational building for other grades and groups and stuff like that. And studies have shown that when children are a part of a high quality learning education environment, it has positive effects all the way through life. Okay, so that's my little spiel, and that's how passionate I am. But I wanted to do something about why you should become a pre-K teacher. Why you should become a pre-K teacher. I just mentioned before, it's play based. You a lot of times you will see like learning centers inside of the classroom. And when I was thinking about this just recently, I had geometry in high school and I really didn't like it. And honestly, my high school years was like my very difficult years. But now looking back, I think I was like, I wonder if I had more project based experiences in my high school classes, would I might have enjoyed it a little bit more. Might have I been a little bit excited about education as well. And so, what I noticed too is the second thing that I noticed is a lot of times when I was in class, not too many things were exciting for me, not too many things were engaging for me. But anytime a teacher announced, oh, we're going to do a project, we're going to do a project, I flourished in that. And now, education has evolved much more. We still have a ways to go, but it has evolved where, there's more charter schools that are adopting the project based model. They are adopting the project based model, and children are really, really learning as well. So maybe that's something that you consider, becoming a pre-K teacher, because you don't necessarily want to do like those other models. You want to do more like a play based model. Secondly, is, if you become a pre-K teacher as well, it's possible if that you could get more scholarships for that. So here in Georgia, we have the Decal Scholars Program. So it's for everybody that is in the early childhood education field, and they're really trying to retain teachers because, not only pre K, but, our toddler teachers are very important. It is very, very, very important that children start learning before they get to kindergarten, even. Okay, it started in infancy, it started in the womb. So there are investing more opportunities for teachers to basically, have incentives while they're in school and get a scholarship. And guess what? It pays 80% of your schooling. We talk about crippling student loan debt now that we have more than ever. I mean, people go to private colleges, all different types of colleges, and they have a mass amount of loans, a mass amount of loans. Well, this will be a great opportunity for you to go to school or even finish your education. You know that they even have scholarships. Even if you're getting your doctorate, you still qualify for a decal scholarship. It's a win-win situation. And guess what, they also, when you can get completed with your education, you get an incentive up to 2 years. Yes, to 2 years. So why not? You're teaching as well, or maybe you're looking into a career right now, and you could apply, for the scholarships and everything, and that will be a wonderful opportunity as well, or further your education even. Another thing that I wanted to talk about too, when it comes to pre-K teachers as well, is that, a lot of times there are different opportunities in the Georgia pre-K program. And so sometimes I didn't really know this because I was so focused on, being a teacher. But I know that there's a lot of teachers even, and a lot of people look at, okay, I've learned a lot about pre-K. I want to do some more with it. I want to, maybe do some more things outside of the classroom. Or, I've become a teacher. Let me see what other avenues I can go down. So they have pre-K specialists as well that work in the state of Georgia, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot of other states that have like pre-K specialist positions. So that's more of a person that goes around to the different classrooms, and they, partner with the teachers, really, observe the classroom as well, see what resources are needed. Look at the program, because the program have to follow different guidelines. And I will say I've had some wonderful pre-K consultants over the years. Sometimes as a teacher, you would get very, very nervous or things like that. And then after a while, as time went on, I just stopped being nervous about it. I'm like, okay, the children, we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. The children are learning. And, if the children are having an unpredictable day, they're human beings. It's just what's going to happen. They're going to have an unpredictable day for the most part. But over the years, I have established some great relationships with pre-K specialists. Some centers have their own pre-K coordinators as well. So where I work at my center, there is a person that oversees the two pre-K programs. So sometimes that might be a pre-K coordinator, even, or a pre-K director. There are some pre-K directors. You also have pre-K inclusion consultants. So what happens is, if you have a person that's in the classroom, and a child that's in the classroom, even they might be having some behavioral issues. You might be concerned as a teacher. Parents might have concerns. That person is there to give you some type of guidance and resources as how they could support you in the classroom, whether it be having additional trainings, coming to visit, assisting with other type of referrals. So they do a wonderful job with that as well. So I just wanted to put that out there that we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, And so I'm very, very excited about that. I will be thinking about some different things that we'll be doing. Share this with people that are in school. Maybe they do not know. Share this with a pre-K teacher that is in school, and she wants to further, he or she wants to further their education, but they don't know what resources to turn to. I'm one of those ones like, look, okay, especially for people that decide to go in education. I'm one of those ones that, I try to find people different resources, even for myself, because I would rather, finance this education without a whole bunch of debt, okay? Without a whole lot of debt, that's just my philosophy. And I know that other people will benefit from that as well. So, those are some of the things that you can do to support you in your journey. There is a Facebook page aside from mine that is just for pre-K teachers. I don't know if I'm still in that page or not, but I used to be in that page because I haven't taught pre-K in about 4 years now. But there's different types of pages out there, like those pages, because sometimes you need a support system in place to help you through your journey as well. Another thing that I want to mention also too is, just partnerships with other organizations. So maybe getting in a partnership with like a local restaurant, a local library. I know when I was a pre-K teacher, I called a local library, and they had a reading specialist. I remember this. This was some years ago, probably. Whew, that probably was like 10 years ago. But I would contact people in the community to do local partnerships for my classroom as well. So, I contacted a librarian. They had a reading specialist, didn't know this. And the reading specialist would go around and bring books for the month, for that classroom month. And a lot of times too, she would tell me, she was like, look, tell me what your theme is going to be, and I will go ahead and bring those books for you. She will bring additional activities, and she volunteered twice a month. That was just awesome. I was really, 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 really big on that, having community partnerships with, in connection with my classroom, because, that was something I wanted my children in my classroom to have the very best experience that they could possibly have. I didn't want to be one of those teachers that kind of just taught one way and just hope, everybody got this way. I was very creative in the classroom as well. My creativity, that's where I felt like that was one of my strong suits. But another thing is reaching out to other community organizations. So pre-K teachers, look at your local libraries, call and see if they have a reading specialist, call and see if the library can. And most pre-K programs, you already know this, that your programs are theme based, and a lot of times too, you're doing a different theme every single month. But see if you can call ahead of time to see if the librarians are even can put those books already aside from you, instead of you taking up the time to look for it as well. Another thing I want to mention too is look out possibly educational outreach programs. So research that educational outreach. See what mobile programs are out there too. I used to have like the Colgate dental truck to come by, your local zoos. Sometimes your local zoos might have a mobile program. And a lot of times, a lot of these programs already have some type of scholarship, or they have some type of group pricing for schools. When I would call different places, some people like, oh, we don't do pre-K. And that was another area for me to advocate, because, I would go a step beyond and maybe write an email, do a letter, and tell them how important high quality education is, and really convince them to start branching out and going into more pre-K classrooms and more, child care centers and child development programs. So really look at that as well. Look at your educational outreach programs, search free educational outreach, search, mobile vans, teaching vans, all of those things. See what comes up in your area. I know I mentioned some things that we have here locally, but I will say, once I started to get into all of these educational outreaches and really developed a partnership, I just had these come in these organizations come in every single year after a while. Now, I know that we're in a pandemic. Yes, we're in a pandemic, and I know a lot of that has definitely slowed down. But you can still prep for the following year, even, or see what virtual opportunities that they have. Maybe they have some type of virtual opportunity where you guys can participate into something. You just never know. And don't forget to reach out to your families as well. You know, families are really good plugs into different resources. You'll be amazed that, sometimes you didn't know Chad's dad worked here, or Lisa's mom had this type of connection. Tap into your connections as much as possible. So when you're doing all of that, when you're doing your play-based opportunities, when you're doing educational outreach, when you're tapping into all of these different resources, it can really elevate your life as well. And guess what? Guess who benefits from it all? The children, most importantly, but you benefit from it as well. I really believe that. So again, I will be uploading some more things. I'm very excited about this. I'm so passionate about, early care education. Okay, I can talk about this for the rest of my life, and I plan to be an advocate for the rest of my life as well. So if you want to contact me, I will link in some links down there that you can tap into, because I have a podcast and I have different resources that you can also participate in, even for your families. Have a wonderful day and take care, and remember, you are wonderful. Thank you so much for everybody that's in early education.